cool decision.
Good evening, everyone. Look at y'all. Y'all are going to be...
I was waiting for the there we are.
Y'all are part of the B-roll. You're on the B-roll for the...
for your tour video.
For the tour video now. Yeah.
Look at how big I am on my screen.
You are. I think it's because you were leaning back when you were sitting there with Nelly.
Oh,
y'all just missed Nelly. Yeah, because let me shrink you back down.
Yeah.
Y'all just
Unless
missed
Nelly
Nelly.
comes back. She might come back.
Sandy's right here, but she's laying down.
Nelly, where you at? You may have gone upstairs.
Let me switch here so that I can also resize.
The old I started calling. Telling Try the other day that I started calling Nelly McBean 64.
I love it. You don't know when it started. It just happened at some point.
It just came out one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't know, it's just like Bean, and then I was like putting Mick in there, and like calling her Mayor McBean.
Mayor McBean.
Then I recall you talking about McBat 64 last week. My audio is doubled.
Corey's audio. There's a possibility that he's just picking up on my microphone, and I don't really think I can do anything about that right now.
Is it bad?
I'm
just thinking here if there's anything.
Oh, his audio is a 6 out of 10.
That's not good. I mean, you know what?
Just out of curiosity, here I'm going to.
It's not a failing grade.
I'm going to mute my microphone, Corey. Why don't you ramble for like a good 10 or 15 seconds, and y'all tell me if that cuts out his echo.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. Let me know if not, if he's muted his audio and it's not happening now, then it's got to be a problem here. It's better now. Okay.
Yeah. So except you all won't be able to hear me if I do that. So yeah. So I actually, I switched earlier this year to shotgun microphones for the downstairs streaming setup. And, I've not, unfortunately, streamed on the upstairs setup, the retro room setup, very much this year. And some things have changed, so I can see if I can lower the volume of Corey on the speakers, and maybe that'll help a little bit. But I actually ordered another of the shotgun microphones. But I want to use it as my third mic downstairs. On occasions, I need 3 mics.
What's the shotgun?
It's Audio Technica something or other. It's in my script. It's not like the most high end, but it's not cheap, but it's not like expensive either. So like I kind of wanted to strike a balance, and it's relatively short. And I wanted to strike a balance there, because it's like, well, I want to buy multiple of these, so I don't want it to be like the highest end model.
Yeah. I mean, I ended up buying another one of the Sennheiser MKE 600, so I could leave it like on my camera rig. Originally I wasn't gonna do it, but there was one point where I was talking to Joe from GameSack, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I use that microphone." Yeah, he's like, "I have 2 of them," and I'm like, maybe I should have 2 of them. I mean, that's all That's all it takes.
No,
right?
I mean, I like it for a stream mic. I don't know if it would be really like a much of a production mic, but
yeah. I mean, this is a production mic, but
yeah. I mean, it is technically, but I guess it would be considered more like entry level, right? You know, it'd be like for, you know, your baby's first indie film, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's good for streams. Anyway, if I get one for up here, or eventually, I guess, too, you know, I try to spread out the spending. I did just get a PS5 Pro, y'all. So there's only so much I can afford to do about Coury's Echo today, okay?
Yeah.
But over time, hopefully, let me reduce Coury's volume here just a little, and hopefully that makes it better.
Just a little bit. Go ahead and just. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sending your audio back to you. So. Was just making sure. You know?
We're going to get a wide shot of streaming here.
Yeah, I see that. I see that AVS back there.
Oh yeah, well, it's the AVS and the
NT. I see the NT Mini.
Yeah.
The first NT Mini. Not the Mini Neuer. The NT Neuer. The Peanut Neuer. All right, so
anyway, I was setting up another shot. Say what? Sorry.
I said, while you're horsing around with that, I can let you know the Enchilada Backlogger has been a member for 13 months and says,
"Oh wow,
Diddy Kong Racing takes us back for sure, for sure. Been forever since I played it. Have fun. Happy Thanksgiving to you both. Eat that turkey, yum yum,
yum yum." That's Sandy's favorite word. That's what we call food, like not treats, but like mealtime food, right? Is yum yums, right, Sandy? But it's not time for that.
Eat 'em up, eat 'em up.
Here, why don't you come say hi? Say hi to the people. Come here. Come say hi. Come say hi to the peoples. Yes. Hi.
I'm gonna go ahead. You know what I'm gonna do?
Come say hi. It's sort of hot in this room, isn't it?
I'm Blue Sky.
Turn around and say hi to the people. Hi.
Say hello to the people.
The peoples. I'm going to stop shooting this B-roll shot.
Yeah.
And that should be enough.
And now y'all are in that video. Are going to be in that video.
Y'all are in that video.
Better put every single person who's
name
is on the screen in the special points.
I hope Henry Clark is here right now. You know what my favorite part of the video so far is? I downloaded that stream where I wired the, I got rid of the drawer system, and I got this Besta in here, and I did that stream where I wired it up, right?
Yes.
I downloaded that stream. I have several clips. Actually, many of my favorite parts of the video so far are from that. Because for one, well, I won't spoil that one because it's really funny. But the other, it's very subtle. Like most people would probably miss it because they wouldn't be looking at like the chat room. Because like I did like a screen capture of the stream playing with the chat next to it. And when I'm moving the PVMs into here, Henry Clark says something along the lines of, did anyone else pucker up with that last lift?
What last lift?
I believe implying pucker up his butthole.
I know, but what lift?
Like lifting the PVM.
Oh, did you lifted something up? I missed it. I missed it.
No. I'm talking about my favorite part of the new tour video.
Oh,
I have that. I downloaded, or I didn't download. I screen capped the stream.
Oh, okay.
The stream archive, and it's got the chat room next to it. And
Yes.
it's like, if you look at the chat, I don't know. I think it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, that's funny.
The other funny thing is, okay, I'll spoil this. I'll spoil this for y'all. The other funny part is, I include a bit where you say like, oh, okay, so you cut those with a hole saw. You know, I gotta say, when I moved to this house, a hole saw was like a big revelation for me, because before that I was just using like a steak knife. We have a good laugh. It amuses me.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know about hole saws until like.
I mean, it's really just a drill. It's a drill bit.
Yeah, it's just a drill with like a.
Well, it is. I mean, you use your regular drill with it.
Yeah, and that just like that's to guide it, you know.
Yeah. So I first of all, I don't quite believe this 47 on Adventure 2, because I swear I got everything in Adventure 1 and 2 back in the day. I'm so sure I did.
Why is that one so? Why is it like a mirror?
Because so there's Adventure 1 and Adventure 2. I forget what all the differences are, but I think just generally Adventure 2 is harder.
Yeah.
But it's like it's just like a hard loop essentially. But yeah, so we're just going to be doing Adventure 1, because I mean, by the way, one of the reasons I picked this game today, because for one, I was just really tired. I didn't sleep great last night, and I'm like, oh, what's some just like really simple, straightforward comfort food kind of gaming?
Yeah.
And when this crossed my mind, I was like, you know what? I wonder, could today possibly be the anniversary of this game? And it is. It's no milestone. It's the 20. I guess it would be the 27th. Yeah, I think it's the 27th anniversary of the game. So
you
whatever.
saying that like reminds me of something that I thought about the other day and wrote it down. And I feel like this might be a good conversation for later. Mm-hmm. And here's something that everyone in this chat can think about. Do you think that there's any game that came out this year that in 30 years we're going to say like, oh, this game is celebrating its 30th anniversary?
I mean, the only ones I can think of would be like Rebirth and, you know, potentially Astrobot. But like the weird thing though about Astrobot is like it's awesome, but it was just like it's awesome and it does a lot of fresh things, but at the same time it was kind of this long journey of iterating upon like similar concepts for Astrobot to finally kind of break out into like a more widely marketable game, right? Because VR, you know, I think it started really as like a little mini game on an iToy, not iToy, a PS3 camera, thing, and then, you know, and then there was the VR, and then, you know, it was just included. Everyone loved it, but you know, it wasn't a full game. So like, you know, it's awesome, but I feel like it still somehow has less impact just by virtue of, you know, it just took this long to iterate on it, you know?
Yes. Exactly. I mean, I think it's like an interesting thought experiment, I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
whereas anything that came out this year going to have as much of an impact as, you know, certain games that just like, you know, came out, you know, like on the NES. Yeah. Or like they have like 35th anniversary or something that came out on the Genesis. You know what I mean? Like, I just wonder if we'd be.
I mean, and
thinking
too,
about it
like,
in the same way.
Like, there's just so many games now that like it's so hard to like rise above the noise, you know?
Yeah.
And,
exactly.
And so like even so, like think about something like, I feel like one of the games that was the most impactful for people this year, which, you know, I haven't played it beyond that stream that we did. But I would say like Animal Well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that
mentioned Animal Well,
that kind of seemed,
Someone mentioned Animal Well as something that would be remembered.
Yeah, but also at the same time, like I feel like there's I don't know, like is that something people are really going to be talking about that?
I mean, yeah, that's the thing.
To the same extent,
is Animal Well like so like one of the reasons it's so well regarded is because of how well it does with a graphical style that is 30 years old now.
Yeah, true.
Right?
True.
So I wonder, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
it does not feel like a game that came out this year.
Yeah. I mean, there's this, you know, I think you know, certainly there have been some cool indie games that have come out this year, but at the same time, I feel like it's been slower on like early in the year too. I think it was pretty slow on the indie game front, you know?
Yes.
You know, like early in the year, like it felt like Arzette, you know, and maybe we're somewhat.
I think Arzette is going to be a lot of people's game of the year.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like that was like the only really sort of breakout indie hit early in the year. Mm-hmm. I think up until Animal Well came along, like those were. It feels like those are the two big indie games aside from Balatro, I guess.
Yeah, Balatro, like that was nominated for Game of the Year on the.
That's wild.
Yeah. I gotta catch up on some super chats here, but I mean, if anybody else can think of things that will.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly in the AAA space and to some extent the indie space as well. It was, I wouldn't say a bad year, but a slower year for sure, I think.
Yeah, I think
especially for Sony. I mean, Sony, aside from Astrobot, it just feels like Sony was absent this year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I hear the Horizon Lego game is pretty good,
like
but
a bunch
like
of stuff this year.
But no one's going to be saying, you know, hey, 30 years ago, Lego Horizon came out.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna basically like having finished Ys 10. Like I'm pretty set in the idea that Stellar Blade is going to be my game of the year.
Wow.
I mean, I think that.
You know, you told me I should get this about Stellar Blade when it was on. I don't know if it's still on sale at VGP Video Games Plus for. It came out to like what, like $45-ish US dollars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which the game hasn't really gone on sale a lot. So.
Yeah. Metaphor is another one I've seen many.
Oh yeah. I just haven't played it because it just feels like too big of a game to commit to at the moment. But I do want to play it.
Yeah. I don't know. Like a lot of people might think it's silly for Stellar Blade to be my game of the year, but I just really liked it, and I put it like I platinumed it and over the course of like 81 hours or something like that.
Wow! So this year has 2 platinums for you. That's kind of crazy. Actually.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I was thinking about doing Ys 10, but I was like, I don't know.
But by the way, is Coury's
Is my echo gone?
Is your echo? Is he loud enough?
Nobody's mentioning it, so maybe
yeah. I mean, but the way that I reduced, I think it also reduced your volume. So I'm concerned if your volume is okay. Sounds much better, but is the balance okay between me and him?
All right, I'm going to catch up on some of these because we had there's $5 15 minutes ago. I'm sorry that it's been so long. For $5 from 16-bit Pete. Thank you. I feel like we know 16-bit Pete. Like we met him at events in the past.
I mean,
it's been a while. Like I feel like it was maybe too many games.
Well,
saying good evening, gentlemen. My portable N64 finally died. That's right. That's right. He, I think he modded a.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Time to build a new one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember this now.
Yes. Well, thank you, and I hope that you can use everything that you've learned since building that one.
Yep.
Make a new one. There's also $2 from Kelly saying paw tip for the lovely girl. Long time no tip.
It has indeed been a while. Good to see you back.
And there was 10 pounds from I think it's Eights, AIGHTS, Eights, with no message. But thank you.
Makes me think of 18, like the developer.
Chat, but I see the Eights was talking about Control, saying I will remember. Someone said I will remember Control in 30 years, and I think that I will as well. Actually, I mean, I'll be like in my 70s, and I'll be quickly approaching on the downward slope towards 80.
Oh.
30 years. So I might not remember any of this stuff based on the like the medical conditions of my family. So I might not remember anything.
Do I have to? Does anyone remember? Do I have to?
Not to get too dark. Right?
Do I have to do some time trials or something to get more balloons? It's been so long. Like it's really been since since this game came out. Like I might have done like another.
Did this get a DS port?
It did, yeah. But like I mean I have not like put serious. Well, I missed a key on the first.
Blackening is
on the first race. Oh gosh, I forgot about the keys. Which is the first race? Yeah, I'm sure there's bonus balloons on the overworld.
Balloons on the overworld. I
mean, isn't the key the way to the boss fight?
I can't help you here.
Oh, you okay. I mean, obviously I unlocked TT if you saw me choose my character. I mean, the whole conceit of this game is, it is an adventure. You explore a bit. Yeah. And I'm sure there's some people who know this game inside and out. It was, I would say, for me, it was kind of like, I did the main adventure 2. I might have done at least some of a replay. Like, I mean, you saw that file I erased. But for the most part, this was kind of in the vein of a one and done, so to speak, because it's a racing game, but it's a it's an adventure. So, this I would say, you can just play like the races outside of the adventure mode and do multiplayer and stuff like that, but I feel like because the focus feels so strongly on the adventure aspect. I don't know, like this didn't become like as much a regularly revisited multiplayer game for me and my friends to the same extent as Mario Kart 64 or F-Zero X.
You think that Sonic Adventure Racing or Sonic Team Racing Transformed ripped this game off?
Does it have like an adventure with collectible
and planes in it?
Oh, well,
it transformed. That's what the transformed is.
I mean, maybe so.
Really quick, there was $2 also from Demo Kirby.
Thank you.
Saying Donkey Kong or Diddy Kong Racing DKR is my first 3 N64. DKR is my first 3 N64 Christmas '97 with Super Mario 64 and I'm guessing I think it's Star Wars Shadows of the Empire.
Oh, nice.
SWSOTE.
Star Wars Soaked.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
And also, Guillermo Vita said that with $2, thank you, saying Stellar Blade is definitely my game of the year. So I'm not alone.
This was what I played Thanksgiving 97. Like it always seemed like Nintendo released like their biggest, like from like 90
Who's that clock? Is that Miss Minutes?
That's TT.
Oh.
And he's like extremely broken. He's the unlockable character. But like throughout the game normally, he is like, he just does time trials. But he's extremely fast and easy to control if I recall. But I thought I'd play as a more normal character for the sake of the stream. I believe I was all about Tip Tup back in the day.
Tip Tub?
Tip Tup.
So Conquer is...
This is pre-Bad Fur Day Conquer.
Yeah.
I mean, this was before Pocket Tales even. But, you know, back in the day, like, Nintendo delayed Ocarina of Time, Rare delayed Banjo-Kazooie. Like, it was looking really dire for N64 Holiday. And then this game, like, just came out of nowhere. Like, it was very it was very unusual at the time for...
I remember that.
It was like... It was announced and released in like 3 months. Very unusual at the time. And
they knew they had the... Maybe they were like, we've got nothing.
Right. Well, and I think they had been prototyping, I think... I want to say like Timber was supposed to be the main character, or maybe Timber was supposed to be the main character in something else. I forget. Like there's lots of interviews with like Kevin Bayless about that stuff. I forget all the details. But at the time, like I thought, because like those games were delayed, and then like I want to say it was like the next Nintendo Power had Diddy Kong Racing in it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like they've like swooped in here to save the day and like have a holiday game. Like they just made this game in like 3 months. Like like it's a ridiculous thing to think about, but like I thought this game was a reaction. The entire creation of this game was a reaction to the Zelda 64 and Banjo-Kazooie being delayed, there being no big holiday game. Like I literally thought that, which was, obviously not the case. But I was very impressed by that, and I was very impressed by how good the game was, considering I believed it was developed in like just a few months.
I mean, that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
There was $20.
Whoa!
From Nerdy Sean. Thank you.
Thank you, generous
Thank you so much. Saying 4-player Hot Top Volcano, but you play it like it's 2v2. Team Alpha gets 2 egg drop locations, and Team Bravo gets the same. So much fun.
Wow. So yeah, this was never
it's
like
another language as far as I'm concerned to me.
Like I probably I probably played. I know I played some 2-player, like 3 or 4-player. I don't recall ever doing in this game. I might have, but yeah, it was for me. It was always about the adventure mode, and
right.
Me and my friends, I think at the time thought this was better than Mario Kart 64, and I feel like most people probably do still think it's better than Mario Kart 64, and it might be. It might be. I can understand absolutely why people would prefer this to Mario Kart 64. I mean, Mario Kart 64 has its jank, but I don't know. Like I always have. A lot of people say Mario Kart 64 is hard to go back to, but it's always been a very comfy game for me. So yeah, I don't know. We gravitated back to Mario Kart 64.
Yeah, after just kind of running this
after
game
playing
ragged.
this for a while, and then,
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of interesting. F-Zero X, on the other hand, was something that we didn't play a lot of multiplayer of at first. And then, like, I don't know, like a year and a half or two after it came out, like all of a sudden it just like really grabbed us out of nowhere.
Sometimes you just, it just takes the right situation. There's also 5 more pounds from Eights.
Thank you.
Thank you. Saying, forgot to add a message. Thanks for playing this one. Brings back many Christmas N64 memories as a youngster. That's good. I mean, it's
yeah. Well, I wanted to play this because I thought, like, hey, a lot of people really like this game. I really like it too, but it just, like I said, it didn't necessarily become a mainstay for me as much as it was for a lot of people. But
yeah,
I have a big soft spot for it as my, quote unquote Thanksgiving game. That because I just called it that, because like, we had time off at Thanksgiving, and I ended up just like really binging whatever came out that year, and like the more to do in the game, the better, because like DK64, man, that was,
it was too much.
It was too much, and yet
still,
like
I
ate it up. I just gobbled it up because for quote unquote Thanksgiving game, it was exactly what I was looking for. And then the next year is Banjo-Tooie, which that was the first Thanksgiving where I had my own PS1. And I was like, oh man, it feels so dirty buying a PlayStation game to play over Thanksgiving instead of an N64 game. But like, man, my heart,
9 probably.
My heart says go with Final Fantasy 9 instead of Banjo-Tooie.
Why would you do anything else other than I did Final Fantasy 9 over that same year too. Actually, like that Final Fantasy 9, I was in college at the time, and I remember Final Fantasy 9 like leaked on like a few days early. So I played through, and I played through the entire first disc before the game even came out.
Oh, he's just forcing me to do this race.
Yeah, FF9 is better than Banjo-Tooie. I was thinking about putting Banjo-Kazooie on my my pledge list for next year. For the record, like we're only doing five entries of a pledge list, and we're also doing a thing where it was suggested to us by Blade Blur. I'm not sure if he's here, but he suggested that we should like pick one game for each other.
Yeah, so we pick
that 5.
I mean, so we pick 4 and then 1 for each other.
Yes.
And I might have my list set actually. I was talking to I always get it confused because there's Good Vibe Collecting and Good Vibe Gaming.
Good Vibe Gaming is the YouTube channel. Well, I mean they both
both have
YouTube channels, but Good Vibe Gaming doesn't know who we are.
No, I didn't think so. Good Vibe Collecting. I apologize, Good Vibe, if you were watching, because my brain I always refer to you as Good Vibe, and I always forget which Good Vibe. What is the last name to Good Vibe? I always draw a blank on that. But anyway,
I accidentally credited Good Vibe Gaming in a video ending credits when I meant.
Oh no!
So that's
easy mistake to make.
Yes. I do feel as though Good Vibe Collecting was around before Good Vibe Gaming.
I mean, I was certainly aware of him first.
Yes.
But anyway, I was chatting with him yesterday, and
she said you were malfunctioning.
Oh.
You're trying to like think of like if it was collecting or gaming.
But I was chatting with him yesterday, and it reminded me that it is absolutely absurd. And most people probably assume like that I've beaten this because I want to say I even included it in the games we played of whatever year it came out. I actually didn't finish it though. Is Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair?
Yes.
Which I
you have not finished that.
I freaking love.
You almost did. You just couldn't beat the last level.
I just couldn't beat the or the in some ways the first level, right? Because you can beat it any time. It's just that the whole conceit of the game is you spend the adventure, powering up so that the impossible layer is less impossible. And I did a lot
but it's
of.
Still impossible. Even maxing it
it's
out.
still very difficult. Like I didn't like have it totally maxed, but I did a lot of extra content and exploring and stuff, and felt like I had a pretty I got close. I did get really close, but I just never did it. And then then it ended up on the back burner, and I would have to restart it at this point, right? It's just which I don't mind at all because it's so good and I would like to play it again anyway. I played the Switch version, but I got at some point, just because it was cheap, the series Xbox One version, which is native 4K. So I
the XB joint,
I might just restart on that. And I was like, even though it's been the games we played before, I did not beat it. And so I decided
you're gonna add that to your pledge list.
I'm gonna put it on my pledge list. Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of cheating. Like you're basically, are you gonna start over from scratch?
Oh yeah, absolutely going to start over from scratch.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I'm not using it to like get a leg up. I'm using the pledge list really for what I consider to be the true intent of it, which is like, I can't believe I haven't beaten this game yet or delved into this series yet, right?
Yeah.
Which, some of, one of the first games I had on the list, I'm not going to spoil any others, was a series that I've gotten most of the games from this series and have only played the most recent 3 of them.
Yeah. So we'll come back to this pledge list stuff in a little bit, but Mike Stuff is asking the hard questions with $5. Thank you. Saying obligatory Thanksgiving question: what is your favorite Thanksgiving side dish and least favorite? What do you have for dessert?
Well,
I want to say, I don't know if this counts as like a side dish, but I think the deviled eggs might be like my favorite.
I don't really associate those with Thanksgiving.
Like, that's more of like a thing you just kind of eat like before dinner. But I feel like that is the deviled eggs are like the things that I like look for.
I feel like my mom makes those more often in the springtime.
Oh.
For me, I associate that as more of a springtime food. My least favorite's pretty easy. I really hate stuffing.
Oh, really?
I don't entirely know why, but it just, every time I try it, I'm like, yep, don't like it. Or some people call it dressing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you've never heard that?
No. I see, Lord X Mugen is saying cranberry sauce, hate it. Yeah, I really don't like cranberry sauce either. I hate it when it's like shaped like the can.
Well, see, I have always avoided.
It seems like so.
Well, you talked about it on Here's My Question for You, and I was like, yes, I agree completely. Except the thing is, I actually tried like some cranberry sauce like that just like came with something. It was actually a factory.
Yeah,
it was actually a factory.
Fine, but
it was actually
I'm not going to eat the.
It was actually a factory meal where it had like a little like side cup of cranberry sauce. Yes. It was like, it might have even been a turkey meal. I forget exactly what it was. But I was like, oh, actually, this is freaking awesome. But the thing is,
it's fine if it's like not shaped like the can.
I agree completely though, and like sliced, shaped like.
Yes, exactly.
Like sliced.
Like slicing it in the little
It's
Come
like
on, like that's so gross.
it looks like meat, like raw meat that you have sliced. I agree 100%.
It looks like red petroleum jelly. Like in a...
It's just you know I had a theory that ultimately ended up not holding water, because then I realized that there's like examples of other like meats that you sometimes see served with an ice cream scoop, but like I really hate I really hate tuna. And you know, I was like, you know what, like any meat that is served with like an ice cream scoop, like meat should just not be that consistency. But then I realized, like, well, ground beef can be that way.
Scooping meat with a... I've never even heard of that happening.
Have you ever? I mean, you go to Subway sometimes, right? Like, it seems like about half of the people in line at Subway seem to order.
Tuna. Yeah, but they're doing it. Yes, I understand that.
And they scoop it out with an ice cream scoop.
But it's not like... Yes, I mean it's like, that's different. I mean, that's like mostly like, yeah, it's like tuna salad, but like without like the celery and chunks in it.
Which I mean, I don't obviously I don't like tuna salad. I don't even like chicken salad.
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of like mayonnaise anything, but like I don't mind like the...
I've gone and I went in and out of phases with mayonnaise over my life.
Yeah, I mean, I generally don't have mayonnaise like as a condiment. If it's just like part of the making of something, then that's fine.
I do enjoy mayo quite a lot these days. But anyway, yeah. So stuffing is my least favorite. Like just something about just the crumbled bread with whatever spices are in it. Like it just don't seem right to me. It just ain't right. Favorite. Well, I mean, so what was it? Was it like? Was it only side dishes or?
Yes, it was only side dishes.
Favorite side dish. Oh, and dessert.
Yeah.
Well, dessert is pumpkin pie, of course.
Yeah. You know what,
my
though?
mom's pumpkin pie.
Speaking of pumpkin pie, I think that I just want to just say this because it's something that happened on Friday. So my wife like bought a pumpkin pie and like made it, and I think that was the first time I've ever had like a non like homemade pumpkin pie, and it like was like made me really appreciate the pumpkin pies that I have.
Yeah. That
I've had in my life.
Yeah, I have very rarely had pumpkin pie that wasn't homemade either.
Yeah.
Very rarely.
Bread pudding's pretty good. I agree.
But then favorite
banana pudding.
Favorite side dish. This is probably kind of lame, but man,
mashed potatoes.
Anyone familiar with the Sister Schubert rolls? Like it's just like a brand of rolls that you can buy at the grocery store, and I don't know, some years ago my parents started buying them for Thanksgiving, and they are just like unbelievably good. they're so simple, but it's just like I just really like bread. And they are really tasty breads.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I don't know if I don't think the deviled eggs count as a side dish, but I mean I will eat as many deviled eggs as I can like over Thanksgiving. I would say that I don't know. I like mashed potatoes. You know,
yeah, but mashed potatoes is a pretty everyday thing too.
Yes.
So it's good and all, but I don't. It's nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah, I have a problem. Like, I mean, this is true for like all days when you can like eat as much as you want, like that, or like going to a buffet. I feel like I can eat almost like endlessly. Like if I don't have if I can't eat as much as I want. But if I can eat as much as I want, I'm like always done. Like after one play, it's like I can't even do it. It's so stupid. Like it happens every time. You can go to like, there's been several times we've gone to like a casino and you pay like $30 for the buffet or something like that. And it's like, man, I just had one plate and I'm done. I can't have
what a bummer.
Yes. That's like a real expensive plate of crap that I just had. Anyways, there was Cade the Squirrel.
Oh, hey.
Sent in $10 via Streamlabs, not Super Chat. But Streamlabs said it's been a hot minute since I've been here.
Yes.
How you guys doing? I'm still developing my silly Master System tribute game, and it seems like you're playing the best kart racer ever made.
I told you there'd be people saying that this stream.
The old Conkers.
Oh man, I was doing really good. Now I'm screwed up.
Yep, because I don't know. Maybe it's call him the best boy that screwed you up. But thank you. It's good to see you back. Cade Scrolls is also known as back in the day as Yo-Yo Yoshio.
Oh, it was such a fun name to say.
Yeah, I only know that because I looked over at my phone and I saw the notification for the donation. It says Yo-Yo Yoshio. It's good to see you back here. Anyways, there's also $2 from Andrew M. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying the real deep cut is if you know the Nuon ripoff. I assume there's a Nuon ripoff of this.
Yes.
Of this.
I played it at John's house.
Yeah.
It's like Merlin Racing or whatever, and it's shockingly competent.
Yeah. It's called Merlin. You know that, a kart racing game is worth it when they make it about like some like public domain fantasy character.
Yes. But I mean, what's crazy about the Nuon is it's like I really am unsure how to describe its tier of graphics. I mean, it seems N64 like, but probably a bit worse. But it's like it's really weird. Like it's just it looks so much like N64. Like just sort of a little bit sub N64, I would say. But it's a really surreal thing to see, like on a obscure console, to see this style of graphics. Like it's, some obscure consoles were kind of like a little more like before, 3D texture filtering type stuff. Aside from the Ouya.
Yeah. Ouya.
Press B button as you turn. Oh, does that?
So people may ask me what you're playing this on. Is this the retro? It's not the retro gen, but the N64 digital.
No, it's actually really silly. I've been thinking a little bit about like, wait, why do I have my N64s set up this way? I don't know. Well, I feel like I should have my N64 swapped, because downstairs is with the N64 digital pre-GEM version.
Yes.
Which obviously has like the D-Blur RGB and the HDMI. Up here, I've got my Ultra HDMI, which I don't actually have the Ultra HDMI hooked up here. I just have the RGB hooked up. So you're looking at RGB through the RetroTink 4K, which is essentially, even though it's one of those early, very basic pre-D-Blur RGB mods. However, if you do use an optimized sampling profile on the RetroTink 4K, it is very, very, very close to D-Blur quality. So that's what y'all are seeing. But yeah, so I'm not getting deblur actually on my PVM because it's one of those very simple RGB mods before you could do deblur on RGB. But yeah, I was kind of thinking like, wait, why don't I have the deblur RGB system up here and then the Ultra HDMI downstairs? Because like the Ultra HDMI and N64 digital aren't that different, like in terms of like just like the basic output. Like the N64 digital certainly has a lot more features. However, the way that I use it, which would be, you know, pre-scaling through the RetroTink 4K, there really wouldn't be a big difference anyway, or essentially no difference. So I kind of feel like I should swap them, but I'm not going to do it before my tour video. And oh my gosh, hitting B while turning seems bad. Probably something for more high-level play.
Yeah. The B button's doing too much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm power sliding with the R button, or drifting rather. I Mario Kart 64 like forever kind of broke me on that. Like I sometimes call drifting power sliding because that's what Mario Kart 64 called it.
Speaking of drifting, do you watch the new video from Pandemonium Reviews every Sega Saturn game?
No.
On the Cave developed racing game.
I did not.
All based on like drifting. I'll give you like a full like history on like drifting.
Wow.
It's pretty great. I only watched like the first like I think like 10 minutes, 15 minutes yesterday. 15, it's like 15, 20 minutes yesterday before we had to go to the Christmas tree lighting down at the Newport levee. And I have not watched the rest of it yet.
I always think of that story you tell of something about Fast and the Furious 3 came up and your wife said, is that the one where they drive sideways?
Yeah.
It's like, well...
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
The one where it's like all about driving sideways.
That is the one where they drive sideways.
Yeah. There was $5 from Mega X6. Thank you. With a message that says, I had the fondest memories of playing this at Walmart back in the day while my mom shopped. Would love to see it on Nintendo Switch Online or a new one in general. I can't believe it's not on Nintendo Switch Online. On NSWO.
Yeah, that is a little surprising, isn't it? I wonder if it has something to do with just like the characters in it. Like maybe Nintendo like is not okay with Conker appearing in an E-rated game. Mm-hmm. Or maybe there's... I mean, they obviously have very little trouble working out... Well, maybe I shouldn't say very little, but they have worked out rights issues with like Banjo and stuff with
they're figuring
with
it
Microsoft.
There's also $2 from Matthew. Thank you. It's saying, I won't let a buffet guilt me into paying and eating lots. And you know what? Amen. Amen to that. I should not be guilted into eating too much.
You know, I went to an Asian buffet for the first time, like maybe the first time since like before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like that kind of just like, I mean, I've never been like a big buffet guy, but it just, I don't know, it just kind of struck me. I'm like, you know, I remember that place being all right. I haven't been there in forever. And it wasn't, I mean, I almost said it wasn't as good as I remembered, but the thing is, I think it was as good as I remembered, and I enjoyed it less.
Do you think that there's this is more of a chat question for the chat, I guess, because I'm not sure if you would know. I don't think that you would know.
You're about to bring up some sort of musician or
Yeah. I'm
obscure
gonna
pop
say, like,
culture.
is there a place out there? You think there's a buffet place called Jimmy Buffet out there? I would
Well,
assume so, right?
I mean, I get that joke.
Okay.
I'm Captain America. I get that .gif. I got that
Oh.
reference.
Okay. There has to be. There has to be. Yeah.
You're right. There has to be.
Yeah, surely in Florida there has to be. Yeah, I mean, we could probably just like Google it, but I mean, finding an actual place, you know, like how do you find the actual restaurant? Try is not 1 out of 10,000 getting a pop culture reference, is what Mr. Dot says. Well, it's good though. I mean, I feel like. I mean, are you a Margaritaville or a Cheeseburger in Paradise guy?
I mean, I'm not a guy. I am not a guy for any pop culture song. It's actually, I mean, look, like, it's actually kind of shocking that I actually do know that he is behind those songs. That's actually quite shocking. Because see, when you express...
You know what that genre of music is called?
I feel like I heard about this not long ago. I'll remember it when you tell me.
It's yacht rock.
Okay, I've not heard that. It's pretty good though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but a lot of times when you express surprise that I have never heard of XYZ person, you're like, oh, but surely you've heard such and such and such song. The reality is I probably have heard such and such song. I just don't know what the song is called. I don't know who made it. And if I do know that person, if I've heard that artist's name, I have no clue what their songs are. Like I may have heard the song, heard the name of the song, heard the artist, but those 3 points don't converge they aren't connected for me. I just don't know because I don't care. However, I mean if some guy is singing a song about cheeseburgers though, I mean that does like cause my attention to perk up a little bit more than most pop culture songs, you know?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, you know, cheeseburgers, that's something I can sing a song about. I like me some cheeseburgers.
Yeah. If I want, I don't know, the yacht rock song that I always go back to, it's such a stupid song. It's a song, Key Largo by Bertie Higgins. I don't know. I heard it like years and years ago. And I always think about it.
Neither of those, neither the title nor the name ring a bell.
I don't know. Like I heard it on something. I don't know. It's just like went to go to look it up on YouTube, and I saw, it's got 20.4 million plus views in 16 years.
Would I like a heavy metal song
I think
about
he's like a
cheeseburgers?
hilarious looking dude, though.
I mean, I don't know if I would.
He personifies like the yacht rock look, I think.
I don't know if I would like a heavy metal song about cheeseburgers, but I might like it ironically in the same way that I like Crazy Chocobo from Final Fantasy 13-2.
Wait, what? Oh, you're talking about Crazy Chocobo?
Well, someone said, would you like a heavy metal song about cheeseburgers? I said I don't know if I would like it, but I would perhaps like it ironically.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you know,
similar to. I mean, Crazy Chocobo is supposed to be funny though. It's supposed to.
If there's one thing I can say about Crazy Chocobo, is that it's at least better than Otherworld from Final Fantasy.
Oh, 100. Well, and see, Otherworld like is trying to be good. Crazy Chocobo is supposed to be funny, and like I actually read an interview with like the
Crazy
artist.
Chocobo sounds like a song that would be thought up like using AI now.
I mean, I read an interview with like the guy who did Crazy Chocobo, and like he, you know, it was supposed to be funny, and he was like really upset that like people were hating on this. Same thing as the DK rap, right? Like people hated it at first, and now it's like considered an all-timer, right? Like
an all-time like stupid song.
An
yes.
An all-time great stupid song. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Like I saw an article a few weeks ago where
David West talking about probably being drunk and high when he wrote that song, probably.
It was Greg Kirkhope.
Oh, that's right. Even still, he's probably still.
Possibly, but I read an article about how you know, like some like actual rap artists like made a good version of DK rap, and
yeah, I did hear that,
and it actually has like and Grant Kirkhope like I think like played an instrument for it or something.
Yeah,
and like I listened to it and it's just like, like it doesn't. Like, it's trying to be good. Like, Grant Kirkhope had zero intention of that being good.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know. Like, I feel like he probably went on an all-night bender and, like, woke up the next day and it was written and recorded. And he has no idea how it happened. He does not recall it happening at all.
Very, very plausible, but that still aligns with my claim of it was not intended to be good.
Yes. But in the moment, you know, like he does not remember. He probably thought like this is so good. But he does not remember thinking that.
Wow. At any rate.
It just turned okay. So Donkey Kong 64 was 25 years ago, November 22nd, 1999. So 2 days ago.
So we just missed it. I could
that banana yellow cartridge. I saw like a overlay that apparently it came with for the N64 controller that makes it look like it makes the controller look like 3 bananas. Have you heard about this?
Yes, and I had it, and
it sells for hundreds of dollars now.
Yeah, I had it, and I have no memory of getting rid of it. I just don't know where. It's really surprising that I wouldn't have it anymore. I mean, it's terrible. Like it does not. You know, it just raises up where your hands touch the controller, and so the buttons are like, you know, less comfortable to hit, right?
It was not meant to be used at all.
I did have it though. I may still have it, but it's something that I've lost track of.
Yeah.
But I don't think it came with the game. I think it was something
bonus or something.
Either a pre-order bonus or something you got through like the Nintendo Power catalog or something.
Yeah.
I
wonder if that's more expensive than the like the gaming glove that came with, what is it, like Air Busters or whatever it is on the Genesis, the Kaneko game. That came with like a single a glove.
Man, I am doing bad on this level.
let's see here.
I could see DK64 being a fun random stream sometime.
Yeah, doesn't that game run at like 8 frames a second or something?
Oh, Banjo-Tooie is even worse for sure.
Really?
But, oh yeah, Banjo-Tooie frame rate is horrible. But, I mean, you know, I don't think I kind of finished my story earlier about like how like DK64 was for me, like just like, you know, because I had those days off at Thanksgiving off of school, like it was just this awesome binge game, and I did not mind how bloated it was. Well, when I played Final Fantasy IX for Thanksgiving instead, you know, then I got Banjo-Tooie, and you know, I wonder if the fact that one felt, I mean, technically DK64 is like the more bloated, overwrought game, but somehow Banjo-Tooie felt a bridge. That was the one that felt a bridge too far for me. And I don't know how to explain that other than either maybe, you know, I was just a year too late getting tired of collectathons, or it was the fact that that wasn't tied to that Thanksgiving binge anymore, right?
Right.
Like DK64, that was a great binge game.
Hey, have you got anything like any Black Friday deals or Black Friday month deals?
Well, my new router,
you got that router
set that I told you about that came just before the stream, so I wasn't able to set it up. Well, I guess that Stellar Blade was a deal. Oh, yeah. I got Like a Dragon Ishin, like I think it was like $25 maybe.
Yeah.
You know, it was a VGP thing.
Yeah.
Like I feel like VGP is starting to become like the Play Asia of North America. where like they have like
surprise because they have the price tag on there, and it's like when it gets converted to U.S. currency, it's like, oh, it's like cheaper than it would be just buying it here.
Well, and considering it ships out of New York, you know, you get a good deal. But yeah, but yeah, it just seems like they like offer a lot of like random stuff like from other regions and stuff like that, like Play Asia does, but maybe not quite.
And they have like a whole bunch of stuff.
The same selection yet, but
I mean, I'm realizing now, you know, like there's certain limited run stuff that I may have like missed.
That they end up
like,
having.
oh, they get it, like plenty of them right after. Like I didn't get that Pentiment game, and I was like, oh,
mine came.
So I just ordered it from them. Did you buy any movies or anything like that? Like any?
I really haven't even been paying attention that closely. I probably should, but
I get that.
Have there been any good movie deals?
I just a second I just bought Ghost in the Shell on UHD.
I assume the anime movie.
Yes. Let's see. I finally like sprung for like Elden Ring.
Oh, okay.
On the PS5, and that was $20, and I got Sandland, which was $20.
I would recommend, based on what I played of the demo for that, I would recommend playing it in Japanese, because something about the English voice really irritated me.
I am online shopping only because I just saw the Blue Sky post thing that it was available for. It was $10.99. I'm like, all right, I'll just do that real quick.
Was it Wario 64?
Yeah, it was just like.
So I guess he's like cross posting.
I posted this stream on there. and I saw that was on there, and I was like, okay, I can see doing that. I got that Master Detective Archives rain code.
So I was possibly going to commit to playing through that before I got Dragon Quest 3, and I'm like, no, I'm going to play through this instead. But like, the funny thing about that game, like,
you can't beat this level, can you?
No, I can't. Maybe I should maybe I should take a break from this level. But also, maybe that's a bad idea. I'll give it one more try. If not, I'll do a different level. I lost my train of thought because I saw someone.
Great. Well, really quick, I just want to say
about that. About the Denon.
Yes, I just want to say I see Zion Farm saying I had a chance to get the exact Denon you have for $250. What is your opinion, guys? I mean, I would buy a second one for $250.
I would too, probably, actually.
Yeah.
So I'm actually using the X3800H. Well, right now, as we speak, I'm using the X3400H here in my retro room. But in the living room, I got the X3800H to have a HDMI 2.1 receiver. If you don't need or care about HDMI 2.1, I think that the X3400H is an excellent.
Yeah.
I'm going to restart the race because this is already starting bad. I think it's an excellent receiver, and in a lot of ways the X3800H was a downgrade because only inputs 1 through 4 go out over zone 2.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean, if that is that somebody that's just like is selling, or do you just find it like a location online where they're available brand new for $250? Because I will buy a second one. my monitor 2 in zone 1 does not work.
Right. Yeah.
There is a $5 from EB Chill 2. Thank you.
Thank you.
With no message, but your very presence here is it makes us all very happy. Thank you.
It makes us feel very chill.
Yes. So what were you going to say about Master Detective Archives?
Oh yes. So like when that arrived, I'm like, what is this? I have no memory of like pre-ordering
it's by the Danganronpa people,
well, it
right?
is, but you know what I thought it was? And like, when I say what is this? Like I knew I had it pre-ordered, but like, when I was looking at like my unfulfilled orders on Amazon,
yeah,
I was just looking at the small thumbnail. I couldn't clearly see what the artwork was. You know what I thought it was? For like, I think I knew what it was when I pre-ordered it, and then like completely forgot about it. Forgot like what game is this? I thought it was a game from level 5 that's like, is it like Deca Cop or something like that? Like it's like an RPG that it's not out yet. And it was on like a Nintendo Direct.
Deca Cop.
I might be, or is it like, someone? What's the name of the upcoming level 5 game? It's
Verticops.
Verticops. Deca Police. Okay, that's the upcoming. I mean, it looked cool in the Nintendo Direct. It's not out yet. And for some reason, like, I guess I had ordered...
It's watching like go drive right into the arch of the finish line.
Okay, I'm going to take a break from this level.
I was going to say, play a different level. You're like, we're about to like do fine, and you like pump, like slid right into the...
Oh, wait, I think that's the last...
Deca Cops, okay.
Okay, or Deca Police. Yeah, so anyway, like, at some point between pre-ordering it, like, I completely forgot about the existence of Master Detective Archives and thought that game was the level 5 game. Then it arrives, I'm like, what is this Danganronpa looking artwork? Like,
Yeah.
I was so confused. Oops, I have taken the wrong route. Try again. Oops.
You have taken the wrong route.
Yeah, so anyway, yeah, I don't know. I was like, I have no memory of this game being announced or shown anywhere or anything. And then, like, after I started playing it, I'm like, oh, I might have a vague memory of this being on a Nintendo Direct or something. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I did like play like the opening area, and it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, there was no patch on it. There's no day one patch on it.
PS5 version, I assume.
Yeah, because I mean that one says like it has 4K graphics.
I mean it's I think a much nicer looking game than anything that those people have made up to this point. Like it's actually I think a pretty good looking game.
Non-game related, like I ordered. Does anybody in the chat have experience with like not like daylight lamps, but like lamps that are like the happy lights that are like bright enough to be like simulate sunlight and are good for like seasonal depression? Is anybody using any of that stuff? I was telling you about, you know, like my seasonal depression. Yeah, it's a sad lamp. Yeah.
A sad lamp?
Yeah, well, it's like a seasonal affective disorder light.
Oh, that's kind of a weird name for it.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because it's the opposite of what you wanted to do. I mean, I was kind of thinking back to how, you know, you were talking about that not long ago, and I'm like, I've never thought of myself as being affected by that, but like now I'm kind of like second guessing myself because like I have been kind of dragging the past like week, but yeah, like I mean, I was blaming my flannel sheets that I put on the bed because they're so comfy.
The flannel sheets are your scapegoat.
They're so comfy that I just like don't want to get out of bed. And like, I feel like they helped me sleep so good, except for last night. For whatever reason, I just didn't sleep good. But like up until tonight, ever since I put them on my bed, like I've just slept so good. And like, but I've also been dragging because I think I slept too hard.
Sleep hard, yeah. I wish that was the case here, but I mean, like I talked about it in my setup tour where I said, you know, like being down here with only the two little windows, like, you know, you spend a lot of time down here and it can kind of get depressing. And I wonder if like that even affects me during the summer, but I can combat it during the summer because like, I mean, this entire last summer, I was like taking, you know, like for a walk, like first thing in the morning, then a short walk at noon and like one like in the evening, like before it got dark. So I was getting plenty of like outside time, and it's like I knew that I've like been struggling with this like the last several years, like mainly I guess since I moved into this house, because like being in the basement I don't have as much sunlight coming in here as I did when I was in the attic in the old house. So I've been saying like I really am gonna do everything I can to fight that this year. So I saw one of these. I was talking to my doctor the other day about it, and she was like, "Oh, you should get one of those
sad lights,
or they're like also called like, you know, like the Verilux have like their brand is called Happy Light." So I got that, and I also like put like a little plant down here. I used to have a plant down here, and I got rid of it for whatever reason, but I brought a plant back down here. So that will benefit also from the light. So that's hopefully that'll lead to a better, more productive life.
I was actually yesterday. Well, I guess over the past few, I kind of took a break from editing on the tour video to kind of like finish writing the office and library section of the video, and then like get back to the living room part of the video, because I kind of want to scope it out and just feel like, okay, does the living room really need to be a separate video or not? You know, trying to get a sense of the scope. And I actually was writing about how like I've got these like blackout curtains in the office. You know, in part because the office and the library are the same room, and I don't want any sunlight coming in to cause sun fading on the games. But like I've actually always like it was so easy to claim the office that I wanted it at my old job at the college when we moved office a couple of times, because there was like a room that had no windows, and I was the only person that wanted that office, because I don't like the sun to interfere with my perception of my computer monitor.
Right.
And like no one else cares about that, but you know, I'm like, I don't, you know, no, I want the dark room. This makes me happy.
Yeah, when you're staring at a computer screen. But I guess the difference is, I guess, like, is you're going to work, you know, so you're getting like some of that outside sunlight on you.
Yeah. Well, and you know, I take, you know, Sandy out. You know, so it's not like I never see the sun, but I've also never felt like I am a, you know, runs on sunlight kind of person either.
I just, you know, it just really makes me feel a lot better, just like spending some time and like listening to nature. And I always get so depressed about it, like during the winter, because I don't know, like it's just, even if you're out walking, it's just like silent. Like one of my favorite sounds is like just during the summer, like in the evening and just hearing the crickets and stuff. Like I have like multiple recordings that I just like make on my walk, like throughout the summer, just so I can like listen to it. I don't know, there's something about the sound of it that just, I don't know, it sounds exactly like where I grew up. And I don't know, like I miss that so much during the winter months, and it makes me real sad because it feels like it's never gonna come back, and then it does, and it goes away. But yes, I do take vitamin D as well. No, I'm not gonna. There's no way I'd move to Florida. Come on, I can handle it for like 4 days max.
Handle what for 4 days? Oh, Florida.
Yeah. But yes, you know, the morning sunlight, just like being out there. But yeah, like, and I like it when that's like been one of my favorite things about having a dog, is taking the dog for a walk, like first thing in the morning, and being out there. But the thing is like she doesn't want to. She's too small, and she gets like real cold. Like even with like her sweater and stuff on. If I don't walk her for a few days, then she's like she really wants to go. But it's hard to just get her out there, like when it becomes cold or if it's raining. But yeah, I mean, I'm really making an attempt to fight the seasonal depression this year.
It's so funny how you used to not really be a dog person at all, and like now it's like just such a part of.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
of how you know live your day, and you know.
Yeah. And you know what, that's what it's kind of nice about, is like you don't really think about it too much until like you have her, and it you know, it gives me like an excuse to do something that I probably wouldn't do without,
just for yourself.
You know, like it's like, you know, there's just, I would probably never be bothered to like go for a walk multiple times a day before, and now it's like, all right, so like I got to do this, but like I love it now. It's like one of my favorite parts of the day. Even if it's just, you know, usually it's just by myself, and you know, I listen to podcasts and stuff, or just like listen to, you know, some music, or you know, I got into a big habit of listening to albums that I've never listened to before while walking this year. Just like things that, I don't know, it's just like weird that I've never really listened to like anything by this person, and trying to just expand my horizons a whole bunch. But as soon as that time changed, and then it's like, now it's getting dark at 5:30, it's hard to, I don't know, it's just cold in the morning, and it's hard to like get the dog to go for as long of a walk like that. Because usually, like, each one of the walk is usually like a mile and a half or so each time. And going in the morning is so good, because she'll just like come home, and I'll give her her treat, and she'll just like sleep for hours then, until she wakes up at 11 and has to go to the bathroom.
Man, you know, look at these waves. Like, it's certainly no Wave Ray 64, but it's still got like, you know, water mesh motion. And I feel like water is just so much less ambitious in games today. You know, it looks shinier, but it's mechanically less interesting.
See, I don't mind so much the hot summers, you know, it's not so bad. And I'm definitely like if I'm driving in a car, I'd much rather have the windows all the way down during the summer instead of having the AC blasting. I'm definitely a windows down person, but I'm the only person in my family that's that way.
I don't do windows down very often, but I like to do it like as it's just starting to get cool.
Mm-hmm.
Not when it's like really cold.
Yeah, I mean, we had like a lot of snow on, I want to say Thursday, maybe? It must have been Thursday. And it stuck for a portion of the day, and it snowed like all night, but when I woke up in the morning, it all melted. But yeah, I mean, that's just Geez, Meister, are you saying like a Blue Sky account or something like that? Just posts water in video games? You know, so did Baldur's Gate, not Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 1 and 2 get like a remaster?
It did.
I'm not talking about Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, like the original, but like the Dark Alliance games. Didn't they get?
I think they did. I think it was digital only though. I have to imagine that like they surely screwed up the water. Right? Like,
yeah, I'm curious because I just saw it like on. I feel like
there was also
on
like a new Dark Alliance game that
kind
I think is just some bog standard like over the shoulder online co-op something. But yeah, there were remasters. At least the first one, probably both of them.
Both of them are on there.
I feel like they surely look much worse than the PS2 version. Like that is a game that was just so made for that generation, and it's very difficult to imagine it's very difficult to imagine them looking right, like on a modern system. Like it just seems, I don't know. So we're back to this level.
Yeah,
got off to a great start.
He's back on this level again. There's 5 pounds from InGen UK. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'd love to see you guys get into kickboxing and become super ripped, crazy fighters. Can you imagine?
No,
I literally
I
think
cannot.
it'd be the best thing ever. And you know, like I have like a kickboxing, like a stand-up punch, like a punching bag thing, and it is a crazy workout. And I, you know, like all summer, like I was, you know, walking. I had like a whole routine. I don't know if I talked about my day routine. It's like I was getting so much done like every day, like in the morning. Like I get up, go for a 1.5 mile walk with the dog, come back, and then I would either lift weights or kickbox for 20 to 30 minutes. And then I would make my protein shake. And I would drink it while I was doing my I have an app on my phone called Elevate. It's kind of like brain training, so I do that for 10 minutes. Then I brew my coffee, take a shower, come back, drink my coffee, do whatever, and it was like 8 o'clock. All that, and I did all that stuff, and it wasn't even 8 o'clock yet. I kept it going like all summer. And it was great.
That's so impressive, but like the thought of how early you woke up to do that is just.
But I woke up at that time normally.
I know, but
I mean, like naturally.
I can't. The thought of waking up at that time is just. It's not a good fit for me. I do not. I have embraced that I am just not a morning person.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess it's you don't have anything happening that like, you know, that has made it so that you become a
right
person, I guess.
Right. Yeah, I can certainly understand you know, with kids in the house.
Yeah. I mean,
lifestyles, you know, like, and habits
starting to get
change.
to the point now where they are like, you know, I'm just getting up because I'm waking up and they're not even getting up yet. But yes, I mean, I feel like if I can get back into that routine, which I think that I can. I got a walking pad. It's just I need that sunlight, and I'm hoping that lamp will help me with that a little bit. Will help me feel a little bit better, to feel motivated to do this stuff again. Because I mean, I was doing it for like a good 3 months straight, and was, you know, like it didn't bother me. Like I felt so good. And like when it comes to like lifting weights, like I really got into like using like kettlebells, which they are very versatile. If you feel like you want to like lift weights at all, I recommend getting some kettlebells. You can do so much stuff, and it's just like you don't need a ton of space for it. Anyways, someone asked us a few minutes ago if the RGB Masterclass is going to return, and it's going to return. I think that it's like, I feel like Dreamcast is going to be out like early in the year next year.
That would be nice.
Yes.
What did I call the
Well, we'll have a 300 video, because we both just got the SVS to review.
Oh yes, the scalable video switch.
Yeah, from Arthremis. So there will be a video on that, like either in December or first thing in January.
And did I consider the M Classic and 4K Gamer Pro video to be an RGB video? Was that an RGB 300?
I think so, yeah.
Because
maybe I'd have to look back through.
I definitely.
Yeah, you ordered those 3.
I
right?
pre-ordered the Indiegogo of well, not the 3 because the red one is just the exact same thing as.
Yes, it is an RGB episode. But that came out.
Yes.
Almost 2 years ago now.
Yeah, I fully expect the blue and green M Classic to be terrible. They not, as Marseille is wont to do, they don't show you very clearly what they do. I will be here to do that for them. I will. We'll see what that's all about. I have low expectations, but I'm not gonna poop on for the sake of pooping on them. But I'm extremely baffled why they can't just add those functions to a singular device. Seems a little strange to me.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, I'm actually kind of excited
it needs
about
more
that.
RAMs in there.
I mean, I'm not excited about the devices, but I'm excited about doing the video because that 4K Gamer Pro and M Classic video, I feel like was like the...
Dude, you should set it up where you like run a console into a four-way splitter. And see if you could probably come up with enough devices to record on all of them at the same time.
Well, there can be slight like color differences and things like that between capture devices. Really though, the way that I did the previous M Classic and 4K Gamer Pro video, it was, you know, it ended up being a relatively long video for what it was, and I feel like it was the least work per minute of video of like any video that I've done in years. Like it was so easy. It was so easy. And so I looked at a video where they had their CEO guy demonstrate it. And it was a terrible video because they were just they weren't even zooming into the TV, and he was just like, wow, it's so beautiful. It looks great. You're gonna love it. But like the TV took up like a fifth of the screen. It was like, it was like way zoomed out. Like you couldn't see at all what it was doing. Anyway, so but what I learned from that video was that it seems that one mode, like there's the pass-through mode, and then there's 2 modes on an M Classic. Well, both the blue and green one appear to have like the basic mode of the red one, or one of the modes of the red one. And then another mode that is unique to them, which surely does not actually need to be unique to them. That seems kind of shady to me. But anyway, yeah, so it seems like there's actually only one new mode per switch, per device to check. So I'll verify that, of course, but it seems like it should be even easier than I thought it would be. So, I think that'll be fun. Those are supposed to ship, and supposedly people who ordered on the first day are supposed to have them before Christmas. I doubt that I'll actually get it out before Christmas, but
yeah,
it depends on the.
I was just talking to.
Depends on the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a video with Chris from Classic Gaming Quarterly. I don't know if it's gonna be out I don't think it'll be out before Christmas.
A video on his channel?
It depends on how it comes out. He says if it's really good, then we can put it on our channel. If it's not that great, we can put it on his. So
okay, so I'm going to switch to TT to do this level because I remember him being pretty broken, and that level is just kicking my kicking my butt.
Get it out of here. It's not a question for you. It's a we're gonna review in 15 to 20 second increments, or not increments, but just like bits. We're gonna review 123 games.
Why 123 games?
Because we want to do a video where we do like little reviews of the entire like Simple series of games on the PS1, the Japanese Simple series.
So a game sack video.
It's very simple. The simple 1500.
At some point in that video, you should say, "Incredible! That's the same combination as my luggage."
Yes, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So we're like, oh, we should do that.
Hey, you should do that video.
Yes. We'll alternate back and forth every 5 or 10, depending on how it goes.
Have you recorded anything for it?
No, I mean, we just decided we should do it last night. So I've been too busy, like, just getting all the footage that I'm going to need for the end of the year video.
Hopefully I won't have to... I should take stock soon.
I mean, that's what I did. Is I just kind of went back through and I'm like loading it all into a project already.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I did good
like
with my
bits.
interval recordings, but
yeah, but I mean, there's just certain things that I didn't have, like To the Moon. Like I didn't have anything from that.
you've got my...
I was annoyed because I did a whole playthrough of Alex Kidd in Shinobi World, like the day after I finished it on stream, and I must not have copied it off of my SSD and like deleted it by accident. So, blah.
You know, I had a dream a few weeks ago that the Atomos Ninja had like a hidden NVMe slot like under where you put the SSD, and I just like never noticed it. I'm like,
wait, what does?
I said I had a dream.
Oh.
I had a dream that the Atomos Ninja had like an NVMe slot hidden like under the SSD. Like you could put like install a NVMe and then, or like an M2 and then slide an SSD over it. And I was like, I can't believe I didn't know about this.
Just use this character to blow through as much of this as you can.
Yeah, I probably should. I mean, it's not like I'm trying to beat the game necessarily,
though. There was $2 from Matthew. Thank you. Saying, anyone have experience with the Retro Fighters Mantis PS4 controller, good or bad?
Oh, I didn't know they made current gen
Yeah,
controllers.
They did that.
What does it look like?
Looks like a Psycho Mantis gas mask.
Wait, does it?
No. Oh, I mean, it looks like it would be fun for like indie games. It's kind of cool. It's almost like I don't know. I could see this being like really nice for like indie like 2D games. It looks almost like a retro controller.
Oh, okay. If it has a good D-pad. I have never personally like latched on to any particular Retro Fighters controller. You know, I've used them a little bit, but it's never like I don't have like a specific grievance with them other than they keep making them for systems that I'd rather just use the original controller like N64.
Yeah. It's available in retro gray.
This is an ASCII N64 controller. Uses official parts and it's awesome.
Oh. Your camera feed is in 60 FPS tonight, you know that.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
But you know, like last week, so I remember I was talking about my kids like not wanting to play any video games. You know, maybe I spoke too soon because my son played through the entirety of the story of Spider-Man on the Spider-Man Remastered on PS5 this week.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean he like literally beat the game 30 minutes before the stream started.
Wow. Was he excited about that?
Yeah. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, can I play Miles Morales tomorrow?" If you wanna. Did I get the anniversary controller? I got the DualSense Edge.
I got the standard one.
Yeah.
Well, I was nervous because Best Buy like delayed shipping. I was like, oh man, they didn't get enough to fulfill pre-orders. I'm not going to get it, but it did come.
Yeah, I think they're gonna restock it.
What's your impressions of the Edge so far?
How much have I used it?
I mean, have you used it? I mean, what are your impressions?
I haven't used it like for real.
Yeah.
To like do like much of anything with it. I mean, it's a little bit heavier. The like inside part where the PS logo and stuff around the sticks is glossy.
See, yeah, that's what I thought. But not, but
I mean, it's just on the inside.
What you touch is not glossy.
Right. What I like, and I don't really, it was not what I was expecting, and that they had like the two little function buttons. I thought you'd be able to use them for like anything, but really you just hold them down and you can quickly switch between profiles.
Oh.
Like controller layout profiles. It's just weird that there's like two of them, and I don't think they do anything else.
Really, that seems weird that they can't.
Yeah,
surely
just do that.
Surely you're overlooking something. Surely you can.
No, I don't think so. I mean, they're just like the FN buttons. Like they don't. As far as I know, and like the best thing I think. You know,
yeah,
the only
CT
time I
is
ever make
broken, but I was starting
just...
to have trouble on that one snow level, and Coury thinks I should stick with this character so I can just get.
Yeah, I mean, why not? We just want to get.
I mean, I beat this game 27 years ago, fair and square.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's pretty broken.
But I get annoyed when certain games don't allow you to like put like major functions on L1 and R1 that I want to put on L2 and R2, like swap them. Like after I finish Ease 10, I was like, I'm gonna just like pop in memories of cell setup, and that forces like all this stuff onto R1 and L1 that I wanted to put on R2 and L2. And now I can just make a shoulder swap profile that I can just switch to for those. And you can do that also just like basically like in the interface of the PS5 and also 4. But you can't access it without going like several menus deep. So it's just nice to be able to do that.
So you did beat Ease 10?
Yeah. 59 hours.
How long
Or
does that
56 hours, I'm sorry.
How long does that compare to 8?
It's shorter than 8, and it's actually like took me 3 hours less than 9 did.
Really? Okay, because I always thought 9 was a fair bit shorter.
No. Nope. It was very good though. I feel like I just wish that some of them were like not so talky. Like 8, 9, and 10 are like really talky. Like but 10 is like it's pretty annoying at the start. Like the first 5 hours or so are kind of obnoxious because it gives you a lot of new abilities, lets you use it once, and then they talk about it for 20 minutes. And then you go and do something else, and they give you another ability, let you use it once, and they talk about it for 20 minutes. That's like the first 5 hours of the game.
The core conceit of Ease being these like tight, breezy games isn't necessarily the case.
Oh, now it's like they're all influenced by the Legend of Heroes stuff, where it's very talky. And it's not bad. It's just that I feel like they could move it a little bit quicker.
Can someone tell me how do I open up the next world? Is it in WizPig's face or is it somewhere else? I forget.
It's funny because I see Yoda Gamer says Sandsman, the newest N64 game, is old enough to drink, and it's funny because I was personally assaulted by the radio, the DJ on the radio the other day.
Personally assaulted.
Who said the Nintendo Wii is now 18 years old.
No.
And yeah, it came out 18 years ago.
Oh my gosh. Wii is going to college.
And I hadn't heard that.
The Wii came out the year I graduated college. Like the Wii was like one of my like first big things after college.
Yeah.
Ugh. Now it's going to college.
And it came out 18 years ago.
Left side of the rainbow. All right, let me...
Just like unsuspecting, and the radio host comes over and smacks me about with a large trout.
Oh yeah, so here...
That was like an IRC thing,
I forgot about that.
I feel like that was a like an IRC thing, like slaps so and so about with a large trout.
I mean, that wasn't hitting things with a trout like a Monty Python thing.
Maybe. Actually, he was working at GameStop when the Wii was released. I might have some old photos that I took of people lined up in Times Square waiting for the PS3 release.
Wow.
I'm confident that I do. I took them with my flip phone at the time. It may have been a BlackBerry.
Did you just happen to be walking by?
Yeah.
And saw, because you didn't get it for a while, right?
Right.
I didn't either.
They're all lined up outside of Best Buy in Union Square. When did they come out? Like the 20... The 22nd? But I feel like... Didn't Final Fantasy 12 come out like the week... Or like a month before?
It came out of
that same year, right?
Yeah, I want to say it was like either the last week of October or the first week of November.
I got on Halloween of of that year.
What?
I got it on Halloween.
Final Fantasy 12?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So
from the GameStop in Union Square.
Well,
I had it pre-ordered.
Yeah, my story with all that was, I remember there was one day in October that year that Clover Studios was closed down.
Oh.
And I was like, man, this news is so sad. And I felt bad that I hadn't already bought Okami, because I fully intended to buy it. And so I went to the store on my way home from work and bought Okami and started it that night. And, I'm thinking this is just going to be, a quick little fun action game. And I would easily finish it before Final Fantasy 12 came out. And
you thought it was. Probably.
And then I thought it was twice before it was over.
Yes.
And and so I always look back and think like, I mean, it probably wasn't entirely fair to Okami. Like it certainly, I don't know if it significantly impacted my view of the game, but I certainly think there could have been some aspect to it of where I was just like, oh my gosh, I gotta finish this before Final Fantasy 12 comes out, and it just made it all the more annoying that it just kept going and going and going, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think other people who weren't as concerned with getting it done before Final Fantasy 12 or whatever were also kind of annoyed that it just kept going and going and going. So I don't know. Maybe it didn't impact my view of the game that much. I don't know. But then, the next thing was I had to beat Final Fantasy 12 before the Wii comes out. Because that's what I'm going to play. I have to be done with Final Fantasy before I play a new Zelda. But that was fun. There was it was like, I want to say like 3 or 4 weeks between Final Fantasy 12 and the Wii, which was no problem.
Yeah.
I got that. I didn't feel like I inordinately rushed Final Fantasy 12. In fact, like, kind of one of the things that still bugs me a little bit about Final Fantasy 12 is that I had no idea it was ending when it was.
Oh yeah. It's kind of like the reverse of Okami in a way.
Yeah, like
Or like, oh, this is the end of the game. Why is this?
Right, like the airship just did not look like a final dungeon.
I mean, wasn't it because like Matsuno went like crazy or something like that?
Well,
like,
yeah,
and,
but
like,
that
he couldn't
was
finish it. And he had to like leave.
I mean, I think he had to step back for health or mental health or a combination of the two. But it was a long time before. I mean, the game was still relatively early, I think. So I don't think that necessarily. I mean, it's hard to say, but yeah, it was just kind of, and today I might not have necessarily been so caught off guard. Do you get more balloons for doing like the hard mode version of the previous world levels? Oh, he's got a challenge for me. I forget if I need 1 balloon or 2 balloons, but maybe this will give me a clue.
And that's like one of the only Final Fantasy games that you don't go to the whole world in it, right?
Well,
like
that's the first
like
one where that's what I was going to say. Like, that was why I was surprised, because you meet characters from Rosaria.
Yeah.
And you never go to Rosaria. And that bothered me so much at the time.
Yeah.
because you
Like, I wonder if it would be real interesting to find out like what all was removed from it.
Yeah, it.
Not that they would ever remake that or have like a
ground up remake. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really bugged me that you knew about places in the world, heard about characters there, and you never went there. That was the first time that had really ever happened. I mean, Final Fantasy X kind of set a precedent of like, well, you don't have an airship, so you don't.
You do have an airship.
Well, yeah, but you don't. You
just pick the locations, but you still go to the whole world.
You assume you do. You go everywhere that you hear about.
Like all the notable places.
All the places that are known, but you can't you can't really prove it though, because you see all of Spira, but like you don't actually loop the globe by your own hands, right?
Right.
So like, for all you know, you could there
could have been like
a whole other continent, right?
Yeah.
That's so, but it was unclear. And then Final Fantasy XI, because of its ever expanding nature, the whole world didn't exist in there either. But that was kind of a different situation, and that didn't bother me. To be honest, I don't know if if Adeline was like the last place in that world, or if there are places in the lore that just they never made an expansion for. I don't actually know. But then, no idea. Like with 12 though, like it was completely, that was a different thing from even 10, where it's like you really don't see the whole world, and that bothered me quite a bit. I love 12. Like it never made me dislike 12, but it was a big bummer for a bit. I've replayed 12 a number of times. You
replayed it. You played the
I've
the Zodiac Age. I mean, do you like knowing
that
it
several
ends
times.
where it ends? Did it still feel?
No,
abrupt?
I mean it helps knowing what you're in for. It still bums me out, but less so than it originally did.
Yeah.
Did you hear that the director of Rebirth and presumably Part 3 said that they're like, they are committed to letting you fly the entire globe in Part 3.
And it's pretty cool, but also said that I feel like he apologized for the trophy, like the platinum trophy for being so hard.
Oh, what was
I don't know. Apparently it takes like 200 hours or something.
Oh.
He was like sorry that it was so hard, and like promised not to do that with the next one. But it'll be interesting to see how far, like how long it is before it's even out. I feel like the wait is going to be significantly shorter this time.
I think so too. Because I mean, for one, the Part 1 released like a month into COVID lockdowns, so
yeah.
So yeah.
I think about that time a lot. Like at the very beginning, where it just like felt like, oh, it's gonna be nice, just like having a month where I can be cool with like not doing anything. And it's like, oh, I'll just play all the way through this.
Get completely hooked on Animal Crossing.
Well, I mean, that didn't even happen though for like
Yeah, it was a
months,
month or
right?
two.
That wasn't even out. But I mean, I feel like
Yeah. I mean, it's
it was
crazy.
like I mean, I just remember like being fine with it and it being I remember playing it on the day before Easter and playing it on Easter morning, like after everything was done and we just like were staying home, not going anywhere, and it just felt like it was only a temporary thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think I beat Remake in like a week. That certainly wasn't the case with Rebirth. I think we beat it around the same. You might have even. Were you even ahead? You might have even been ahead of me. I feel like you were ahead.
No. You beat it well before I did. At least I think a week before I did, at least.
Oh, okay. But then you definitely beat Rebirth before me. But I started a week late because I was in Germany.
Yeah. Right. It's just weird because it was a long time ago now. But it does not seem like it was that long ago. And, you know, you hear all this stuff about, like, oh, the PS5 Pro, like, makes it run so much better. It's like, there's zero chance I'm going to play through the game again. I mean,
it's not that it runs better, it
it
looks sharper, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I've just found that it's kind of a reverse of what happened with Remake, and that I felt like I disliked Remake at first, and then I like softened over time and found myself like really turning around on it. And this time I felt like the only thing I think of when I think about the game is like how there's just too many mini games and like there's, I don't know, like I just feel like I don't feel as strongly, like I feel less strongly about it as time goes on. And with Remake, it was the reverse.
I mean, I like Rebirth quite a bit. Like, it was definitely open world the game, but
yeah,
in a way that didn't particularly bother me. I mean, the things that actually kind of annoyed me more than anything, honestly, were probably that I just didn't like any of the new like combat mechanics. Like basically everything from the first game is there, which is good, but then like all that stuff about the was it Magnata books or whatever the heck, and
well, what do people keep on saying? Like, oh,
this is where it all started.
Is where it all started.
The first Magnata books. And like I feel like
what even is that? Like I can't even tell you like what it was now.
I don't like. I feel like they had like some idea about tying your skill tree to the books that made sense at first, and then like they deviated from that, and then they still had this book theme at the end that just was left making no sense.
Yes,
it was really weird, and I feel like skill trees are very overdone in video games. But I feel like the skill trees and Rebirth are like literally the least interesting skill trees I've ever seen in a video game.
Yeah.
Like I was excited about exactly 0 stats, skills, or abilities that I redeemed on that skill tree. Like I feel like you could basically probably do nothing
and you know like
and not have that much more trouble with the game.
And it's not like the skill trees in Remake like made much sense either.
No, they didn't. And I think what they were trying to do was streamline because you know they had all these like fancy graphics. Like it was very similar to like the 13.
Just like floating in space.
It was very similar to the Crystarium in 13. Where, you know, it was all like, you know, fancy 3D flashy stuff. Yeah. But that stuff, like, I didn't like that stuff at the time, But in retrospect, I think it was a lot better than what they did in its place in Rebirth.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't feel like it even needed the stuff even needed to be like that elaborate, you know.
But but still, the core gameplay was good. The open worldy stuff was, I thought fine because it was kind of bite-sized chunks of open world stuff, and I thought the story stuff was, for the most part, extremely well done. Like I thought the story, they handled the story stuff very well. There was nothing in it that annoyed me, like in Remake.
Yeah. Oh, there's $20 from Dominic Rinaldi.
Oh, thank you
so much. Thank you. Asking, what is each of your fondest childhood gaming purchases? Mine is Kirby's Dream Land 3 and Super Godzilla from Hills. I have very fond memories of Hills. In 1998 for my new SNES Junior, when the N64 was already out. I was 6 and the SNES was on clearance.
Oh man.
That's darn good, and I still remember Hills.
Yeah. Oh man.
If you bought CDs and they came in like the really long anti-theft things. You remember anything like that? Like CDs. I mean, if you ever went to like.
I don't remember CDs so much, but then again,
long.
I didn't really buy like CDs at American stores.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, games came and stuff like that.
Yeah. The Hills, like it's funny because I just played through that Haunted Castle Revisited today, and I remember playing Haunted Castle at Hills.
Oh, okay.
And Hills had it was in the front of the Hills, and it had like it had hot dogs on the rollers in the front, and you could get popcorn. But I'm sorry, this is not video game related, but I remember like my fondest Hills memory is when my mom put all of the Voltron toys on layaway.
All?
And then all the lions, the Voltron lions. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay, well it's like four of them, I think, like go together, like 4 lions, and they like combine together, and they're like all made out of metal and everything like that. And I remember she paid it off, and like one day we came home from school, she said we're gonna go get them.
Wow.
Because I mean, layaway was such a cool thing, like it's such an interesting thing that you could just like go into a store and just like pay little bits of money. Okay, so it's five lions, right? But like the idea of layaway is like pretty neat. You could just go in and put like little bits of money on something until it was paid off, and they hold on to it for you.
You don't have to worry about someone else taking it.
Right.
But I mean, I'm sure. I feel like we could go on all day about like memorable going to buy games as a kid or a teen. I remember. I mean, probably the one that I think about the most is going to get Kirby Superstar, because that's the N64 story. I went to Toys R Us to get Kirby Superstar the day it came out, and I played the N64, and it just rocked my world. And I remember, did you have a situation like me where, or maybe this is something a lot of people can relate to, where like your parents wouldn't go to the store unless you called the store and asked if they had what you wanted?
No, but I never I pre-ordered stuff and they would call me like, "Oh, we got your game in."
Right. But like I remember like Yoshi's Island is like what I pretty much consider like the first game that I was like actively anticipating before it came out, and like was like looking forward to it, wanted to get it like right when it came out. And I don't think it was exactly day one. It might have been a few days late, but like, cause I didn't know like how it worked. Like when would they have it, right? Like this was a new thing to me. Like I always got games like after I had like heard about them elsewhere. Like I wasn't like looking forward to something brand new.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember calling Toys R Us and asking if they had it, and they said yes. And I remember hanging up the phone, and I'm just like, yes! Like I was just like so excited, so happy. And so we went and I got it.
Just imagine if you could just bottle up that happiness.
I was just.
And you just take a little swig of it every, and you really needed like a big pick me up.
Yeah,
like that, like unbridled, like just sheer excitement.
Yeah,
is impossible to experience now.
Just like, can you just imagine a fancy bottle just with a label on it that says Toys R Us has Yoshi's Island?
Yes. I mean, I grabbed this off my shelf because, I mean, like my copy of Final Fantasy 3, like, I probably like my like fondest going to pick up a video game memory. Like I remember so much about that specific day. Like mowing the lawn at my grandfather's house, and then my mom picking me up when we went up and picked this up because they had called me and said that it was in. And I came home and I booted it up and I just like watched the intro. And then it was homecoming weekend at school, and I was in 10th grade. So was it like 94? So October of 94. And I don't know if Chris Shulman's still in the in the chat or not, but he had it pre-ordered as well, and I told him that it came in, and he had to like talk his older brother into taking him to the mall to pick up his copy too. So he had to like, only had like an hour between like from the time that the event that we were at the school was over and that, and it closing. I mean, sorry, and going to pick it up. So I remember getting home and just continuing to play, and I played. I think I played up to when you like fight the Saban's master or whatever, the one guy on the mountain.
Well, it's not his master. It's like
it's like his rival or whatever, right? And I played up to there. I just remember so much about that day, and it's just crazy because I mean, like, so the next day I was in 10th grade, so it was, like, I was like starting to get into like some other things at the same time, and I just remember it being like this homecoming weekend. So we went to the homecoming dance, and I made it to. Pretty sure that I made it to the World of Ruin. Like that weekend, it was probably either. I think it was like that Sunday. Like so, like the Sunday. I got it on a Friday. Played it a whole bunch on Saturday, and then I went to the school dance. And I remember that dance because it's like the first time I ever slow dance with a girl. It was at in 10th grade. And I came back home, played Final Fantasy, and then got to the World of Ruin that next day. I just remember like so much about that weekend. So I mean, that's like definitely the one that I remember the most.
Yeah.
Although I don't think I shouted. I didn't go, yes,
yes. I was just like, yes.
Shadow did die, yes, for sure. And then for the next several like months, I remember going to my friend's house and he had Prodigy,
yeah.
And I remember looking up all this stuff about like, oh, you can resurrect General Leo.
Oh,
remember
wow,
being,
that
like, a
stuff
big thing.
started that early, huh?
Oh my God. I remember like reading about it and trying all these different things that was apparently supposed to make it so that you could resurrect them.
Wow.
So, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's just, I remember that, but it's crazy. Crazy. So that was 94. And I just like, it was, saw something recently about how it was like, is it 34? It turned 35, or is it, or 30 years? Duh, 30 years. It just was just 30 years since then.
Wow.
And I don't think there's any game that came out this year that I'll feel that same way about in 30 years.
Well, certainly not us. Maybe someone younger. I mean, another one I remember was when Majora's Mask came out. My friend called me and was like, Funkoland like got it early. Like this was a good few days. Like it was, I don't remember exactly how many days it was. Like, I don't know, it could have been 3 days, could have been 4 or 5 days before. I don't remember exactly. It was a good number of days. I had it pre-ordered at EB Games at the mall, which is strange when I think about it, because I almost, maybe they had like a pre-order bonus or something. I don't remember a pre-order bonus though, but anyway.
These Maestros got me looking up picture of these Voltron diecast.
Anyway, so I was like, oh my gosh. And so I called EB, or no. I called Funkoland just to confirm, like, so you've got extra copies, like I can get this? And they're like, yeah. And so I'm like all ready to just go. And then I'm like, wait a second. What if EB got it early too? Because I'm just thinking it's Funkoland. And so I called EB and I'm like, any chance you got Majora's Mask early? I heard Funkoland has it early. And they're like, yeah, we have it too. I'm like, okay, I'll be right there. I remember, me and my friend, we kind of, I don't know, we had like a dumb rivalry about like, ooh, I touched the game first. I was the first one to touch this. I mean, we were, these were like big deal games coming out at the time, and we were young and excited about it, right? Like, it was like this big moment that you were waiting months or a year or two for. And like, at that age, it seemed like a long time, right?
Sorry, I want to circle back to these Voltrons here.
I was just going to say, when we picked up Ocarina of Time, he called the store, like, I think they got it a day before. I think we both had pre-order at Best Buy. And I think they got it
laughing at
a day earlier than expected.
413 says, all of us out here touching grass and try touching games.
But we were like, I remember, like, he was like, I called Best Buy and they've got Ocarina of Time. I'm like, what? I'm like, Dad, we gotta go right now. And like, I remember like pulling into the Best Buy parking lot, and I saw my friend's dad like drop him off at the door. I'm like, no, he's gonna get it first.
Oh my gosh. And you ran in there, you're like Tom Cruise running, like sprinting full speed, right? Through the entire like place.
I mean, it was, moments we never forget.
There's $5 from Container 7. Thank you, saying thanks for streaming this game. Love the nostalgia discussion. That's fun. This time of year, like, it's always fun to come around.
I feel, we were talking like, has any game come out this year that
we'll be celebrating a 30th anniversary.
Yeah, this or is going to be like the same kind of excitement, or people going to be saying like 30 years later, like, oh, like this is the 30th anniversary of some game that came out in 2024,
Yeah.
Maybe not to the same extent. But I would say that almost certainly like more games that like more like milestone game anniversaries occur probably in November than any other month. Like, that's what I'm talking about, the Thanksgiving game, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because I guess at that time, when I lived in New York and I would come home for Thanksgiving, like before I was married and everything, I'd always would have a game that I would play, like usually just a portable game.
Thanksgiving.
And I was kind of getting back in the games at that time, so it was like, I remember like the first year that I really did that is like when I'd gotten a PSP, and I played Jean, what is it? Joan d'Arc.
Joan d'Arc.
Yeah, Jean d'Arc. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
I played that. That was like a Thanksgiving game.
I didn't know you'd played through that.
Oh, yeah.
I bought that off Jimmy
For
Happy.
real. Great game.
Anyway, but like Thanksgiving, like is like for one, I have a relatively small family, like relatively small extended family, and so it's never been like a big like gathering holiday for my family. Like, in fact, like sometimes we get together, but like for the most part, it's usually just me and my parents. Like, it's usually Thanksgiving. It's not like the time of year that you see your extended family. It's just never really been that for us. Sometimes yes, usually no. And so that's why that's why like, the binge game was always such an exciting thing about Thanksgiving for me, because usually I was most years, I would say, through middle school and high school especially, most years was just at home and just me and the same people I see every day, So,
yeah.
It's not like I was like snubbing some, family time with people I don't see every day, like, so I loved it. If I'm being honest, I loved having just the binge game tradition.
Yeah, I get that. Okay, so I was looking up this Voltron, and apparently there was many of them that came out in 1981, but I was like, there's no way that these are the ones that I got, because I was 3. Like, I was definitely older than 3, but then I saw something that there's a set that came out in 1984, which would make sense. Because I always talk about, like, I think that, like, my earliest memory, like, I may have been 3, is 2 or 3 is like, it's like such a weird memory, but I just remember like accidentally dumping an entire box of Mr. Bubble bath like all over the bathroom floor, like this powder stuff.
Oh no!
I don't know, like it's just for some reason like I specifically remember that, and that must have been like I must have been like 2 or 3, and like after that it was probably like seeing Return of the Jedi in the theater and going, and that was, I remember that because like it was so full. It was opening night, and I had to like sit in the aisle. But I mean, it was 83, so I would have been 5. So this would have been right after. So there's one that came out in 1984, and that makes more sense. So I think that those are different than the 84 or 81. They look different. Or 85 maybe? I'm seeing put in 85. No, there's, I feel like 84 would be correct. No, I didn't think that Mr. Bubble would come alive if I poured it. I just feel like I wanted to pour some in the bathtub and I dropped it and it just like went all over. And it looked like, I remember it being, it's just like, it was like a powder.
Do you remember your mom's reaction to this?
Yeah, I mean, I remember her being like really upset about it, but I don't think she was like angry at me.
But does your mom remember it?
I should ask her. I never really asked her about it. I doubt it, but you never know.
I mean, it seems like a pretty notable thing that happened.
It feels like it was something that happened one day. You know, like I was not in school, obviously, and I was not old enough to go to preschool. And you know, like for sure, we were living in the house that I grew up, which I feel like we didn't move into until like just shortly after I was born. So my parents were divorced or in the process of getting divorced at the
I
time.
honestly have, you know, I've got a bunch of memories, you know, going from vague to more.
Call my mom right now and ask her.
Yeah.
I mean, I could. Do you want me to? Should I text her?
Yeah,
right now?
do it. Do you remember?
2. I asked her, so we'll see what happens. I can't call. It's too. I mean, she's probably awake, but also like she's probably just gonna respond to me like no. I should FaceTime my mom. I mean, I could, but I feel like there's no precedence for me doing this on stream previously, so I don't know if I can ambush her with it right now without any kind of like heads up, being like, without it first being like, is it okay if I do that sometime?
What, do you think
there's $5 from Matthew? Thank you, saying a super new Switch XL could be a new magical moment. Doubtful, but I don't know. One of my I don't know what that is. Something magical moments was a clear Game Boy Pocket plus Pokemon Red plus Battle Arena Toshinden 4.
Wow, all at once?
All at once. The idea of getting more than one game at one time that was not like on Christmas. Like that was like the stuff dreams were made of. It. You never expect to get more than one game at a time, anytime.
I mean, that almost sounds undesirable to me because it's like, well, you only gonna have time for one. But you know, if they're different sorts of games, like you know, some of those kind of are like Battle Arena.
Okay, so here, so I'm looking at Mr. Bubble Bubble Bath. It's called Mr. Bubble Bath Potion.
Bath Potion.
Yeah, they still sell it. It still exists.
You know.
Oh no! So this is it. This is like, here's a sealed Mr. Bubble. This is it right here. It's available on eBay. This is from 1993. So this was definitely.
Does bubble bath mix go bad? This is something I've never pondered in my life.
But this is definitely the box. But this is 1993. It was definitely before that. I mean, this looks like it was earlier than 1993.
You know,
you can get it. You could have gotten you could send in the proof of purchase and get a Mr. Bubble sweatshirt.
Oh, dude. Hang on, I have to get this.
Are you gonna show the new shirt?
No, it's not convenient, but when Drum came over for movie night on Thursday, we actually watched movies in this room for the first time because we decided the first time, like, you know, for a movie night, because we decided to watch some VHS, and I had I thought it was a sealed copy of The Last Starfighter, but it wasn't. Like the bottom, like it just had the shrink wrap around, but the bottom was open. So we watched The Last Starfighter, which I had never seen, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw that movie in the drive-in when I came.
Well, kind of what I was telling Drum, I think the reason it took me so long to finally watch that movie was because I learned from it. I learned of it from my least favorite teacher. Because, you know, it was very well known that I was obsessed with video games. And so she's like, have you ever seen The Last Starfighter? That's you.
Oh.
So, I was always curious, but I feel like my disdain for that teacher made me reluctant. I also had from my college roommate, actually, I had a sealed copy of E.T. Which I saw E.T. on TV once as a kid, and I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
But always intended to revisit it. I don't love it. I don't think it's that great. Having just rewatched it this week. But, I believe this tape is from 1988. And, you know, it was sealed, and it's got this mint, oops, still mint.
Not anymore.
A coupon for save 25 cents on 2 liter, 3 liter, or multi-pack of any Pepsi Cola product. 25 cents, y'all. Right here.
I mean, that's a lot.
I know, it's so funny to think like, ooh, 25 cents. Good value. good savings today. Yeah, there's like a ET poster offer. Some sort of Universal Studios. I guess because ET was coming to Universal Studios in 1990. some sort of collector's edition coins. Meet E.T. when he comes to Florida in 1989. But anyway, I just thought it was cool that this was in there since it was sealed. What's
look at this. I need you to look at this that I'm going to send you. I'm going to post it in the chat as well.
Okay.
This limited edition bubble bath, still sealed vintage 90 RoboCop.
RoboCop?
And look at the second picture. Look at the butt on the RoboCop, and he's like, he's got his butt cheeks like going. It's looks like he's wearing underwear on the outside of his metal body. I don't know why it's so funny.
Am I living under a rock? What the heck is Mercari?
I feel like I've heard of it before, but I don't know. It just
wow. That is a lot more butt than I would think RoboCop would have.
Look at the yacht on that RoboCop. RoboGyatt.
I only know what that is because you explained it to me when we were in Milwaukee. Anyway, you know,
Dominic, I only say it because I got a 9-year-old and a 12-year-old kid, so I just,
you know, I have to say that, like, of things from my youth that, like, I just have no interest in revisiting, like, baths is definitely one. Like, I like showers, and the idea of taking a bath in my adult life is just
unappealing.
Completely unappealing.
My wife. Well, my wife never takes baths, and I'm like, how come, like, you don't ever take baths? She's like, because I don't like sitting in my own filth.
I mean, you know,
that was like exactly what she came back and said.
It sounds like she's thought about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a fair point. That's a fair point for sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I would articulate it that way necessarily, although it's a good point. I mean, it makes me think even less of wanting to take a bath, but like, yeah, like, you know, it seems like a lot of adults do seem to, you know, enjoy,
it's like
a bath.
some downtime, and it's just, yeah.
But it just, the idea of that does nothing for me. Like, it just, the idea of doing that again just does nothing for me.
There's $10 from Matt Gurley. Thank you. Saying, good evening, all. Just curious, what is your favorite video game original soundtrack that you can always go back to and listen to? Mine would be Symphony of the Night or Final Fantasy X.
Ooh.
I mean, that's like a tough one because...
Like from any era?
Yeah, I mean, I assume that there's no...
I mean,
it's like tough for me because like sometimes like I'll take like certain songs, but I don't find myself like listening to entire soundtracks of games just like on my own time. Like the only time that I'll like listen to stuff like on my own time is like, you know, like I like listening to like the Sayonara Wild Heart soundtrack. Yeah. And I don't know if that really counts as like a straight up video game soundtrack.
You know, even though I collect CD soundtracks and listen to them sometimes, I don't just like listen. I don't listen to music as often as I would like to. Mostly because, like, as you know, I have a very one-track mind, and I will do with CD music or even if I just like listening to like music on YouTube or something, like. I will just like get absorbed into it. Like, you know, people are like, oh, like that's what I love about vinyl is like it makes listening to music be an event, right? And see, to me, I can do that with a CD, but I it kind of bothers me that I will like put music on in the background sometimes, but more often than not, it's like way too distracting for me, and I just like I can't really get anything done. Like I don't drive with music as much as I would like to, I guess, but that's like where I guess I get my best music listening in. You know, especially if I'm doing like a longer drive or something, I might put on some music. But I would say, like, in terms of when I think of like I want to, like, I have a CD player in my car, and very, very rarely I will, you know, bring a CD or 2 or 3 on a trip. And the ones that I would go to would often be Mystical Ninja starring Goemon. That's a great driving soundtrack. Or a Kirby soundtrack. Like Kirby in general, like just Kirby soundtracks in general, and even the more recent ones. Like I think Kirby music is like just still so on fire. In terms of they're I feel like the main 2 guys behind the Kirby soundtracks have like never really lost their touch. And you know, so stuff like Return to Dreamland, I actually don't have that soundtrack. Although a lot of the music is on the Star Allies soundtrack. Robobot soundtrack, I mean, any of those are always really good. Or just like all, you know, Final Fantasy. I like listening to like Final Fantasy 14 a lot lately. Yeah, like I would say just like broadly Kirby is pretty high up there. Kirby and Final Fantasy, Goemon. I can listen to those. Like if I want to just listen to music, like those are often pretty high picks. Persona's good too. I mean,
you ever just drive around listening to like just the vocal tracks from F-Zero GX?
I do not, but I bet someone does.
Yeah, I mean, I would listen to that stuff more than I would listen to like most stuff. I need to roll it back because I missed a super chat from Robert Hernandez for $10 9 minutes ago. Sorry about that. Saying I never got more than one game at Christmas time. I never got more than one game at a time outside of Christmas. I also had to have parental approval. Had to exchange Contra for Donkey Kong Jr. on the NES because mom didn't like video game violence. Yeah, I mean, I definitely knew. Like, you never knew when parents would be like, no, you can't have that. Like, I had a friend who, like, was able to play like anything, but his parents, like, freaked out about Populous because you play God.
Oh, I remember you telling that story.
Like, that was really, like, you can be like anything else, but if you want to,
I mean, I always found that, you know, among my friends growing up, like the ones who really fretted over, like, you know, the content that they consume, those were the ones where the kids like tried so hard to subvert that, right? And watch it or play it anyway, right? Like my parents, like it's really honestly hard to say like if they were uptight about anything, because I was kind of weird in that, like, I wasn't really that interested in stuff that was, you know, that would raise an eyebrow for my age.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just wasn't. I didn't buy my first T-rated game until I was actually 13 because I just wasn't. Was that the last coin? Did I see the last coin over there? Not that I can do it, but okay. I think I know.
On that note, I was just thinking about recently. Like I have not played it, but I mean, like I think it would be fun to try. You know, like in terms of like trying to like maybe play a video game with my daughter. I was thinking like maybe if we could try like the couch co-op in the Coury.
Oh, is she interested in horror?
Not really, but I think that she might be getting to an age where like a game like that might be fun for her.
Like a story-driven game? Oh, but you just said
but it's like
that she
something
hates
where it's kind of
movies.
like, oh, let's like make this outcome. So, but it's like really, it's funny because you can play. Can you play up to like 4 players couch co-op in that? Or can you play like up to like how many characters there are?
I think that
Probably.
I think so.
So like you can make it so I brought it up to the kids yesterday and she was just like, no, I don't really want to. And my son was like, yeah, like it would be, would be open to it. My wife just said nothing because she doesn't want to play anything. I was thinking about having that be my birthday present this year is that all of us have to play the Coury. I mean, like, so how do you think that...
That's kind of awesome.
Right? Like, it might be kind of a fun thing to do. You can
set 4 players and you know...
There's like 8 characters, right?
I forget exactly how many characters there are, but, like, you know, you can have it lopsided, I think, in terms of, like, how many characters someone has. You should test out, like, how it works first, but... That's,
yeah, but I don't want to like spoil it anything for anybody. Is it only past the controller, or can you like everybody have their own controller so it just switches? But past the controller would probably be easier because it probably gives you enough of a heads up, right?
Oh, absolutely. There's no like
instead hand it to this person.
Correct. The game stops. As you know, it's like, you know, Coury, now it's your turn.
Okay. I mean, I think that would be kind of a fun thing. Okay, so there's 9 playable characters. I mean, like, I think that it would be really funny. I mean, is there anything, like, I'm sure it's, like, violent and stuff, but I feel like it's probably something that would be...
I don't remember it being especially gory.
Like, I think there's, like, a gore, like, you can, like, after you finish it, you can like have like a super gory mode or something like that. Like based on like the options that I looked at.
I mean, you know, I don't, you know, I'm sure there's some language, but I don't remember too much.
But I think like if I like make that like this is what I want for my birthday present is for like all of us like to spend a day. I mean, how long is it? Like 8 hours probably total?
Probably in that ballpark.
Yeah, like if we did it like over the course of like several days.
Yeah.
I mean, sure it has its moments, but I feel like if it's all 4 of us, like we'd be like maybe it would turn out to be like this kind of a fun experience. And there's like no way that I could talk my wife into doing it if it wasn't something like that being my present.
Yeah, well, you know, the only challenging thing might be, you know, since she doesn't really play video games. I mean, you know, there are moments where you have to, you know, press the right button, you know, for for a QTE or something like that.
Yeah,
you know, she might not be familiar with like what the button symbols are, you know.
Right, but I mean, the whole point is that, you know, like not everyone's supposed to live.
Yeah. I mean, there are like accessibility options, like you know, because Drum doesn't like button mashing when we play the Supermassive games. Me, Drum, and Lynn
influenced my life in gaming.
We always we always we always turn on like the hold instead of mash. And there might be like an option of like it's always the same button or an easy mode or something.
Yeah.
Where like it's always the same button. But like it's okay for someone to die.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there are certainly characters that are more important than others. But you know, like you would probably want to be
Until Dawn didn't have that feature, right?
No, it didn't. It didn't. No.
I wonder if did they put that in the remake?
I don't think the remake has it either, actually.
Oh, and it's not in the Dark Pictures show stuff.
No,
either.
it is. I mean, the Dark Pictures started that feature.
Oh, okay. I think that would be. It'd just be a fun thing. I think that's
a neat idea.
Yeah, and it's like something that doesn't cost any money; just costs them their time. 11 minutes ago, there was a $9.99 super chat from the Dad Bod Game Squad.
Oh, hey!
Yeah. Thank you. Saying DKR, one of the legendary N64 Thanksgiving game releases. Awesome to see you all pay tribute. Also great to see TT unlocked. That took forever.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is my original cart. So that's why he's unlocked. You know, Dad Bod Game Squad. He didn't always used to be called Dad Bod Game Squad. But he's like basically my first internet friend that like I still keep up with to this day. Like he was like, you know, my first or second internet friend ever. And we actually got to meet when he was in Charlotte earlier this year, which was awesome. We'd never met in person before. But
awesome.
You know, I can't remember if it was. This might have even been like the thing. Whoa! I got first place at the last second there. This might have even been how we became friends. I forget. But I think he reached out to me either via email or AOL Instant Messenger. Oh, did I get all the coins? I'm not sure if I got all the coins. Dang it, I didn't get all the coins.
Did it go bloop when he messaged you? Bloop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bloop.
Absolutely.
Bloop.
Well, we were chatting on AIM all the dang time. But anyway, the you know, video game fan site I wrote on at the time, N64 Code Palace. We did a April Fools, and you know, there's a lot of characters in this game that have really only been in this game, and I made a April Fool's article with like a really terrible Photoshop job. It might have even been MS Paint job. Of Tip Tup, I think it was Tip Tup's Big Adventure. And like I just took like the render of Tip Tup, who technically I guess is in Banjo-Kazooie, but you know, it seemed like there were a lot of characters poised to like kind of be like breakout characters in this game, right? And so like I made an April Fool's joke that was Tip Tup's Big Adventure was announced, and I took the render of Tip Tup in this game in one of the vehicles and like photoshopped a gun onto his hand. And
by Shadow the Hedgehog.
Dad Bod Game Squad. Oh no, Shadow the Hedgehog didn't exist back then.
Oh, okay.
Dad Bod Game Squad like totally bought it.
Really?
Yeah, totally bought it. And I can't remember if that was what caused him to reach out to me for the first time, but yeah, that was how we got to be friends.
That's crazy.
Or maybe whether it was how or not, I don't remember for sure, but it was early on. I think that was it. I didn't. I honestly wasn't like thinking at all about like how like the game I'm playing right now is like how I met one of my oldest internet friends. That's crazy.
Let's see. Manana is saying that she had 3 people from a Rent message board come to her wedding.
Wow.
And I was just thinking, like, Rent was the first like Broadway show that I ever saw. You could like do a lottery for tickets or whatever, for like real good tickets if you got to the theater like early enough. And I remember like my first birthday that we were my wife and I were together. She said, "Oh, we're gonna go do this," and we got like second row Rent tickets. And then 20 years later, I'm gonna make her play the Coury for my birthday.
Oh man,
shows you how far we've come.
We have a new subscriber here from Ryder only just before you did the GameSat collaboration. That's kind of cool.
Oh.
Well, I think we've probably made more progress in this game than I expected to.
Yeah.
So it's probably a good stopping point. I'm not gonna want to go crazy late tonight since I hope I get much better night's sleep tonight.
11:11 is a good time to wrap it up.
Yeah, I was not feeling like doing a whole lot today. That's why I went for, a simple game like this. Although it's actually kind of complicated in some ways, but I figured an N64 game would be nice and comfy for me.
Yeah. So for the retro room, like how far along is the edit going, or how is the edit going?
It's going. It's going pretty quickly in some ways, but there's still like a lot of B-roll I need to shoot. But the B-roll is like so easy, right?
I mean that's what it sounds like, but like as I learned, you wanted to at least make it look nice anyways.
Yes.
It's like easy, but you still got to set up and do the shots. That's why like as I was going through it, like I was like, oh, I'm just gonna like shoot this like handheld.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like do a lot more of that like as time goes on. Like
absolutely. But yeah, like I kind of took a break from that stuff and was like, let me see where I can get to on finishing the script, because like I still have to decide whether the living room should be its own video or not, and I'm still undecided. Hopefully Backlogger stream is tomorrow, but hopefully I can figure that out tomorrow. Like I don't think it's going to take a lot more to finish the script. I'm cool. Like a day or two to finish the script max. So that's where I'm at.
That's where you at.
That's where I'm at. So unfortunately, obviously, it's not gonna be before Thanksgiving, and let's admit it, it's not gonna be November either. But we're doing what we can. We're doing what we can.
Yeah.
It is well underway. It is well underway.
A lot of videos in December, perhaps.
Huh?
Depending on there's potential to be like a lot of videos.
Didn't that happen like last year, or the year before? Like that, I feel like that happens to us often. Where it just seems like a lot of stuff. I'm so glad, so thankful, by the way, that Analog 3D is not shipping this year.
Not out.
I'm so, because that is such a classic Analog move, is December launch.
Yeah.
So thankful that's not a review we have to make at this end of the year crunch.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean we have a sponsorship video that needs to be out also in December, so that might be a fun one though. We're thinking it's going to be something completely outside the box.
Yes, it's
and like a bit silly.
It's a bit
and maybe like really super long.
A bit silly.
But it's going to be more of a conversation.
Yeah, I think we're going to shoot it ad lib style. Is that right?
Yeah.
You're pretty settled on. I
just feel like it would be easier that way. It'd be like a lot less work, and we can kind of just like roll with it.
Yes. I think we'll want to write up some of our thoughts before.
Yes, for sure.
Beforehand, for sure. But yes.
But it's going to be like I assume it was going to be like a tier list of some sort.
It's going to be a tier list of sorts. Yes.
Yes, which I think might be just fun to do.
Yes.
And, like shoot it ad lib, but also like we do the smash up, we put it at the beginning, but then like then the video can just be as long as it needs to be. I mean, there's potential for it to be. Like remember the old 30-day.
Yes, the music challenge video.
Music challenge. That I think this is really long, but I think there's a specific set of people that really like it.
Yes, I mean and that wasn't our idea. This was an idea that we came up with. So maybe has the potential to go viral a little. Maybe people will make their own.
Well, yeah, who knows?
Well, let's not say what it is so no one steals it.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, I think that'll do it. Thanks to everybody who donated, and I hope everyone in the U.S., if you celebrate Thanksgiving, have a wonderful week and relax and
Looking forward to some turkey and some Dragon Quest 3.
Oh yeah, some Twakey. Yeah.
And some of them Sister Schubert rolls. That's what I'm looking for.
And some deviled eggs for me.
Seriously, people, I didn't see anyone in the chats be like, "Oh yeah, Sister Schubert rolls." Like if you like bread, get you some Sister Schubert. Go on the lookout for them. Report back next week. I need to know what you think about them Sister Schubert rolls, because they're great. Oh, someone did mention them. Oh, Mr. Sensible says those are good rolls. Oh man, they're amazing. I'm a little worried because I mentioned them to my mom the other week, and she's like, "Oh, I haven't seen those on sale." And my mom can be pretty stubborn about not buying things unless they're on sale. So I'm like, well, I think you need to buy them anyway. So we'll see. Anyway, good night, everyone.
Take care, everybody.